Good morning, all. Today's our topic is larynx. Now, its introduction. The larynx is the organ for production of the voice or phonations. It is also an air passage and acts as a sphincter as a inlet of the lower respiratory passage. The upper respiratory passage include the nose and the nasopharynx and oropharynx. Larynx or voice box is well developed in humans. Its capability are greatly enhanced by the large vocalization area in the lower part of the motor cortex. Our speech is guided and controlled by the cerebral cortex. God has given us 2 ears and one mouth to hear more, uh, contemplate, and speak less according to the time and need. Man's language is an index of the intellect, intellect and speaks during the experience phase of the experience respirations, and larynx is a part of the respiratory system allowing two-way flow of the gases, and it is the kept patient because an adult is breathing about 15 times per minute, unlike the esophagus which open at the time of eating or drinking. Now, anatomy of larynx. Now, situations and extensions. The larynx lies in the anterior medial midline of the trunk and extending from the root of the tongue to the trachea in the adult male. It lies in front of the third to sixth cervical vertebrae, but in children and in the adult female it lies at a little higher level. Size. The length of the larynx is 44 mm in males and 36 mm in the female. At puberty, the male larynx grows rapidly and becomes larger seen in the prominent angle of a thyroid cartilage, which makes his voice louder and low pitches. The pubertal growth of the female larynx is negligible and her voice is higher pitch and internal diameter up to the 3 years it is 3 mm and adults it is 12 mm. Constitutions of the larynx. The larynx is made up of the skeletal framework of the cartilages. The cartilages are connected by joint and ligaments and membranes and are moved by a number of the muscles, and the cavity of the larynx is lined by the mucous membrane. Now here the figure is the larynx anterior and posterior angle of the lamina in male and female. Now here the cartilage is of the larynx. The larynx contains 9 cartilages of the 3 of which 3 are unpaired and 3 are paired. Unpaired cartilages, thyroid, cricoid and epiglottis, and paired cartilages, retinoid and corniculate and cuneiform. Now, hyoid cartilage. This cartilage is V-shaped in is cross section. It consists of the right and left lamina, and each lamina is roughly quadrilateral. The lamina is placed obliquely relative to the medial lamina. The lower part of the anterior border of the right and the left lamina fuse of the form of medial projection is called laryngeal prominence, and the superior cornea is connected with the greater cornea of the hyoid bone, and it's the lateral thyroid ligament. The inferior cornea articulates with the cricoid cartilage to form the cricothyroid joints. The inferior border of the thyroid cartilage is convex in front and concave behind. In the median plane, it is connected to the cricoid cartilage by the canus elasticus. The outer surface of each lamina is marked by an oblique line which extends from the superior thyroid. Here the figure of the cartilages of the larynx on the posterior view. The thyroid and sternothyroid and the thyropharyngeal part of the inferior constrictors of the pharynx are attached to the oblique line, and attachments lower border and the inferior corneal gives insertion to the triangular cricoid. Here the palatopharyngeus and sphingopharyngeus and sorry, stylopharyngeus. On inner aspect are attached median epiglottic ligament and thyroepiglottic muscles on each side, and vestibular fold on each side, and vocal fold on each side. Here the figure of the cartilages of the larynx and lateral view, thyroids and the vocalis muscle on each side. Now cricoid cartilage. This cartilage is shaped like a ring. It encircles the larynx below the thyroid cartilage and forms foundation stone of the larynx. It is thicker and stronger than the thyroid cartilage. The ring has a narrow anterior part called the arch and a broad posterior part called the lamina. The inferior cornea of the thyroid cartilage articulates with the side of the cricoid cartilage from the junctions of each lamina. Now this is the figure of the cartilages of the larynx as seen in the sagittal section. And here it is attachment. Anterior part are cricoid gives origin to triangular cricothyroid muscles, and the anterolateral is the lateral cricothyroid muscle, and lamina of the cricoid cartilage on outer aspects gives origin to the very important safety muscles. Now epiglottic cartilage is epiglottis. This is the lip-shaped cartilage placed in the anterior wall and of the upper part of the larynx. Its upper end is broad and free and projects upward behind the thyroid bone and the tongue. The lower end or thyroepiglottic ligament is pointed and is attached to the upper part of the angle between the two lamina. Its attachment anterior surface is the tongue by the median glossoepiglottic fold, and second is the hypoglottic ligament is posterior surface is covered with the mucous membrane, and thyroepiglottic muscles is attached with the thyroid cartilage, and epiglottic muscle close into the during the swallowing. Now arytenoid cartilage. These are the two small pyramid shaped cartilage lying in the upper border of the lamina of the cricoid cartilage. The apex of the arytenoid cartilage is covered posteromedially and articulate with the carcinate cartilages. Now its attachment, vocal process. Vocal fold and vocalis muscle is attached above vocal process, vestibular fold attached, and muscular process. Posterior aspect gives insertion in the posterior cricoid cricoarytenoids. Now this is a figure of the ligaments and the membranes of the larynx, and the second is the vocal cord and it's the larynx scene. Anterior aspects give insertion to the lateral cricoarytenoids, and the posterior surface transverse arytenoids crosses the two cartilages. Between base and apex of the arytenoids is oblique arytenoids, which continue as the epiglottis muscle into the two sides of the epiglottis, and quadrangular at the quadrant membrane is attached between the arytenoids, epiglottis, and thyroid cartilage. It is the arrangement of the cartilages, and it is the carcinoculate cartilages. These are two small conical nodules which articulates with the apex of the arytenoids cartilage, and the directed posteromedially they are, and posteriorly parts of the नहीं, अभी रिकॉर्डिंग चल रहा है. Now, cuneiform cartilages. These are two small rod-shaped pieces of the cartilages placed in the epiglottic fold just ventral to the cornical cartilage. Now, here the laryngeal joints. The coricothyroid joint is a synovial joint, is joint between the inferior cornea of the thyroid cartilage and the side of the uh, cricoid cartilage. It permits rotatory movements around a transverse axis, passes through both coricothyroid joints, permits tensions and relaxation of the vocal cord. There is some gliding movements also in the different direction, and the cricoarytenoids joint is also a synovial joint between the base of the arytenoid cartilages. Now, laryngeal ligaments and membranes. Extrinsics. The thyroid membranes connects the thyroid cartilages to the hyoid bone, and its median and lateral parts with the thickens. And the second is the hypoglottic ligaments connects with the upper end of the epiglottis cartilage. The cricotracheal ligament connects the cricoid cartilage. Now, the intrinsic ligaments are part of the broad sheets of the fibroelastic tissue known as the fibroelastic membrane of the larynx. This membrane is placed just outside the mucous membrane. It is interrupted on each side by the sinus of the larynx. The adequate membrane extended from the arytenoid cartilage to the epiglottis, and the conus elastic or the cricovocal membrane extend upward and medially from the arch of the cricoid cartilage. Now, it is the cavity of the larynx. The cavity of the larynx extends from the inlet of the larynx to the lower border and cricoid cartilage. The inlet of the larynx is placed obliquely. It loops backward and upward and open into the laryngopharynx. Within the cavity of the larynx, there are two folds of the mucous membrane on each side. Upper fold is vestibular fold and the lower fold is vocal fold. Now, the vocal fold is attached anteriorly to the middle of the angle of the thyroid cartilage in the posterior aspect, and posteriorly to the vocal process of the arytenoid cartilage. The rima glottides is limited posteriorly by the enteroarytenoid fold of the mucous membrane. The rima therefore has in the intermembranous parts and the posterior intercortical ligaments part. The rima is the narrowest part of the larynx. It is larger and male than in the females. In the male 23 and the female is 70 mm. The vestibular and local folds divided into the cavity in the vestibule of the larynx. The part is larynx of the supraglottis. The part between the vestibular vocal fold is the sinus and ventricle of the larynx. Now, this is the figure of posterior view of the spread out of larynx, and this is the figure of the cavity and larynx of the position of the fossa. And the part below the vocal fold is uniform glottis, and sinus of the Morgongni or the ventricle of the larynx is a narrow fusiform cleft between the vestibular and the vocal fold.